So that's why I feel, because every company is now moving their operations to chatbot. Like there in if we talk about big companies, unicorn companies, the I there is if you know about Salesforce. Yeah, Salesforce, they are moving all their operations to chatbots, because people now want chatbots on their websites to generate leads, to schedule meetings, everything. So they are selling chatbots to companies. They put it on their website, and people just if I am visiting a website, I see a small window there. I talk to the company, and then I schedule meeting with that company. So everyone is using chatbot. The other company, which is also unicorn, is Drift. Yeah. So Drift is also using chatbots. Like Kimoto-san also gave me a book which was written by the founder of Drift, conversational marketing.
US companies?
Yes, US companies. So they all are venturing into making chatbots because they know the potential, because in future times everybody would be using these, because everyone uses these chat applications. Like if it's I've made it on Messenger, but in Japan people are using Line a lot more than WhatsApp. I think people use Line. So if and Line also provides a dedicated chatbot API in which you can create and build your own bots. So it could be pretty easy for companies to integrate their chatbots with Line for Japanese companies. So, and what I have built in this chatbot is, this is the whole Python program, and I have connected it to Messenger. So if I want to connect it with some different service, I don't have to code that much. I just have to write a small portion of code to integrate it with other services. That's why I used microservice architecture.
That's cool.
Yes.
Okay, let's move the next.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much.
What you going to do next?
Blockchain.
Kimoto-san?
Yes,
Go
Uh,
ahead.
yes.
Chatbot finish, right?
Yeah,
Chatbot appears.
chatbots are there.
And next, yes, we will have a presentation about two presentations. One presentation is Malta cryptocurrency city and how to approach our business to that project. After that, visual we will present the.
He asking some question for you.
Hello.
Do you have? I don't know if it's the following the right way to talk about this kind of technology. Do you have any idea to connect this service to other technology like blockchain?
Yeah. Which?
So there are many applications using the blockchain. Then that would be like we'll be able to fit some application on the blockchain.
Actually, I didn't understand the question.
Okay, if there are some application and service based on blockchain,
Okay.
blockchain, for example, will be used for some smart contract, for example.
Okay.
Then in operating smart contract service, there will be some information of input and output and processing.
Yes.
And someone needs to input information and someone needs to get some information output.
Yes.
Then it's kind of the communication interface for input, output, and processing in the middle.
Yes.
Will be feasible. Do you think, do you have any idea of the connection between the blockchain application and this kind of application?
Yeah. Actually, this kind of application can be very much used with blockchain. Like chatbots can be integrated with blockchain. Because if we talk about private blockchains, what private blockchains does is, because there are two kinds of blockchain services. One is just a second. One is the centralized version, and the other one is decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we are working around the centralized version of blockchain,
Mm.
so it consists of private blockchains, like Hyperledger and like the one Gravity is partner of Rablock. So these are private blockchain, and what private blockchains does are they use cloud services to create nodes. In a blockchain, we have nodes, or which we call partners, and those partners help us in the consensus of new blocks to be added. So what private blockchains does is they go on the cloud. They make a few instances of virtual servers, and they make them nodes. And all those nodes are using a database like MongoDB, a NoSQL database like MongoDB or something else. It can be anything. So they use a NoSQL database, and they get interacted, and they all those nodes which we have created on the cloud, they interact with each other, and whatever data we put gets stored into a blockchain of nodes on the cloud. So exactly this kind of a service can be integrated with them. So this ensures safety of your conversation, of your private things, because if I'm telling my address to the chatbot, I might not be comfortable of them to save it. So that's why you can put it in a blockchain, and it can be integrated very easily with them. But the problem is to integrate it with decentralized blockchain like Ethereum, because in a decentralized blockchain, what happens is, if I am part of the blockchain, so some part of the blockchain will be added to my because some part of the blockchain will be using my hardware of my laptop, because it's decentralized. They are not hosting it on the cloud. They are hosting it in a peer-to-peer network. So in peer-to-peer network, there are a lot of chances of it getting hacked. So that's why in blockchain we have a concept named proof of work. Yeah, in proof of work, they actually have a kind of concept in which a person, if he changes one block, he has to change all the next blocks until another block is created. I'm going to explain it when I'm going to present you the blockchain explanation. So if in that proof of work algorithm in decentralized blockchains make the blockchain a little slow, not little, very slow. That's why Bitcoin takes around 10 minutes to get mined. Every transaction takes 10 minutes. That's why Bitcoin transactions are very slow. So if we try to integrate this kind of a chatbot into a public blockchain, a decentralized blockchain, it will be very slow, because each block will be mined after the according to the proof of work concept, and which can slow down the bot very much. So that's.
So is it correct that we can say it's kind of something new if we want to integrate this kind of application? You just present it into some application based on the blockchain.
Yes, we can totally.
Something new in the market.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you had of the application, this kind of application in the logistics service, I mean international logistics service and cross-border logistics service, where there must be sender and receiver, and the sender have to submit many kinds of documents to get the goods to come over the border.
Yeah.
But because the many country has their rules, and immigration rules are different, and so nowadays each country has national single window to get their immigration work more easier and simpler.
Yeah.
And someone needs to integrate this the national single window as the regional single window. Then we have to have some kind of the platform to integrate the input and output and into the different process, the different information. So it might be considered the blockchain will be some solution to um, to manage all transactions.
Yeah.
But still, we need some input and output layer, and also the data processing layer.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah.
So actually, I'm doing that kind of the business. I'm from the company who's doing the BPO service, business process outsourcing, and so, for example, the life insurance company is outsourcing the operation. So this means that we are undertaking the operation of life insurance company and logistics company instead of their own department. So we're processing their operation, and we're coming into kind of the new market, cross-border, the logistics. And we're also doing some kind of we're going to set up and trying to set up some scheme to help the logistics company and, for example, tax offices, and also who wants to send some goods from here, from one to another. So I have in charge of some project by using our internal resources of doing the BPO service, and they're given some application, as you mentioned, microservices from third party that they're integrating that service into their system, which is the BPO service.
Oh, okay.
There's some potential to do it.
And if so many tax offices and everything is involved, so it might contain sensitive data.
So that's a point. This kind of discussion has been in the praise of, okay, let's say Asian region or ASEAN region. There's ASEAN committee, but we talked about this topic 10 years ago. It must be centralized system. So always a question comes on the question that who will manage the server. So the server must be placed into a particular place. So where the server will be placed and who is going to manage the server. So that's the question. It have to be fair, but 10 years ago it couldn't be fair. But nowadays we have some kind of the decentralized data processing system. So that thing is the blockchain. So I'm not talking to some ministry in Japan and other tax offices and the regional authority in ASEAN region. So this is why I shared with Ino-san, and I don't know if it's with Kimoto-san.
Actually, the problem that you're facing can be very effectively solved with a private blockchain by instead of making nodes and instances at one server. What we can try to do is each office or industry which is involved in this process can get their own node, one node, and that one node can act as a consensus, and then each of the party involved in this blockchain can have their own community of private blockchain, but it is public for all the people involved. So, and it's very safe, and you don't have to put it at one place. It will be decentralized among yourself, but centralized for outer public.
Yeah. So firstly, I have to help some countries, some offshore entity to come on the consensus to start applying some system based on the consensus.
Yeah.